Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are again with another edition of Felons Talk. And I have with me here on the telephone from Ordway,
Arkansas Valley
Colorado.
Arkansas Valley Correctional Facility in Ordway, California, out of the Colorado Department of Corrections, John Greshner. And
We're going to start today with John's going to tell us about the illegal intelligence unit at the ADX Supermax facility in
Florence, Colorado.
it's in Florence, Colorado. Yeah.
All
Go
right,
ahead,
so
man.
let me take off with this. So check it out. So in the 1990s, there was a pilot program out of Washington, D.C., established by the United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Prisons. One of the active participants was an assistant director named Michael Cooksey of the central office out of Washington, D.C., at the Federal Bureau of Prisons. He was also the warden at Marion when they tried to give me that air piracy case on a helicopter hijack and all that shit. They're trying to fraudulently put establish evidence on me, and then one of their witnesses that they put next to me as a plan, he turned up dead, and then another one got scared and was refusing to try to incriminate me with he was wearing a wire on the yard at Marion and at Sagan outside rec. Anyhow, so Cooksey, North Central Regional Director, Hirschberger out of Kansas City for the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and the upper administration for the prison at the ADX in Florence, Colorado, which was Warden Pugh, P-U-G-H, Associate Warden Gallegos, SIS Intel Lieutenant Les Smith, SIA Intel Lieutenant Dan Schaff, Jennifer Grundy, the lawyer for the facility in the ADX, and then an assortment of informants that are willing to comply and say anything, just try to get out of that pit, sensory-deprived pit, solitary confinement they got them in. They'll say anything to do it. So they established a unit. The first one in there was Kevin Roach. They were giving him laptop computers, all our files, everybody's files, and a few other guys rolled over. Gene Bentley rolled over. Same thing with him. Danny Weeks stole money, checked in, claimed to be AB, was never AB. He started participating. A guy named Richard, a guy out of California named Brian Deadeye Healy, another one. Then there was like a couple of DWBs, Dirty White Boys or something. Anyhow, they were fabricating cases. They were giving them evidence, all our files, state, federal, intel files, that they could look at, read, and claim that it was their own personal knowledge and then go in front of grand juries. They were doing this on prisoners of all races, U.S. citizens, and foreign nationals. So check it out. They gave them a bunch of classified national security documents, DEA, NSA, CIA, all that, which they ended up stealing. Now, to corroborate some of this, all our interacting people out there, our peeps out there, here's what I want you to do. Get on your computer, go to LexisNexis, the legal thing, look up John Greshner versus Michael Cooksey, Cooksey. The number is 2006 U.S. Court of Appeals, Lexis number 7700. Also, 172 Federal Appeals, 833, 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, 2006. And the prior history was United States District Court of Colorado, filing number 02-RB-354, then in parentheses, BNB, that was the magistrate's name, named Boland, end of parentheses, head note 3, paragraph 2, H-unit conspiracy. Okay, so when I found out about this, I'm filing lawsuits. This is what resulted in me finally getting kidnapped out of the feds and sent out to California and thrown into shoeing, given an indeterminate shoe program in Pelican Bay State Prison in California. But they had me in the SAM cells, the Hannibal Lecter cells. SAM stands for Special Administrative Measure. You got to go to the United States Attorney General's office in Washington, D.C. to put a guy in those cells because there's no human contact. I've been in them 3 times. Anyhow, this was the second time I was in. Under allegations, there was this bombing, this bomb plot, a terrorist plot by the Aryan Brotherhood and some other organizations that they were trying to put together and all that. So when I got out of the SAM cells, I ran into some friends of mine. The first one was Chuco Santiago. I told him to get with Ronnie Brasino and Adolfo Champ Reynoso, who the government alleges to be Mexican Mafia. I says, listen, Chuco, you tell Bruiser, that's Ronnie Brasino, and Champ to file a lawsuit right now. They're going after them next. They're fabricating cases on the Mexican Mafia. So you can look up Ronnie Brasino, Bruscino, versus Warden Pugh, P-U-G-H. The number, the LexisNexis number is 2006, U.S. District Court. The number is Lexis 100222. It's on H word, or H unit. That was the unit. You can also corroborate themselves. Go to westwardnews.com, a broken code, the year 2000. And 5 years later, there was one, the same thing, westwardnews.com, called Bringing Down the Brotherhood. That was in 2005. This was written by Alan Prendergast, the staff writer.
What did he say?
The first one was written, excuse me?
What did he say? In the article, tell us what he said in the article.
In the article, the whole article, I encouraged, Danny Weeks wanted to be the king rat. Kevin Roach wouldn't let him be the king rat. They got to beefing in that secret intelligence unit. So Danny Weeks rolled over on all the snitches. He started snitching on the snitches and snitching on the government. No. Danny Weeks is claiming he is an ex-shot caller for the Aryan Brotherhood. He's never been Aryan Brotherhood, none of that. He's a bullshitter. And he's trying to play like he's got this conscience, so he's not going to work with these people and fabricate cases on innocent people. That's actually what he was doing, but they wouldn't let him be the guy, so he rolled over on all of them. So this will give you some insight into that unit, what's going on. He explains that even the thefts of classified DEA documents and all that was turned up in the lawsuit. Now, in this lawsuit he's talking about, in this article, it says there's a lawsuit that was filed by Weeks and another prisoner. I'm the other prisoner. I'm the lawyer. I'm the one that filed the lawsuit. I was never in this H unit, illegal intelligence unit, but I got up on it because Weeks rolled over on them, and then they panicked and they called the U.S. attorneys and the federal case agents that were handling all these racketeering cases around the country. They were fabricating on people, and they said, what should we do with Weeks? And they said, lock them down incommunicado. No communications, no mail, no phone calls, so we can do damage control, figure out what the fuck we're going to do.
Right.
So Warden Pugh says, lock them down back in the SAM cells where we got Greshner. They went up to Weeks. This is what Weeks told me. They went up to Weeks himself and said, listen, we're removing you from H unit, which was the illegal intelligence unit, and we're going to lock you down in the SAM cells where we got Greshner. He told him, bad move. They said, we got our orders from Warden Pugh. He says, all right, let's go. He came in hollering my name. So there's only 4 cells back there. I'm all the way down on one end. They put him all the way down on the other. We got big boxcar cells on the front, but you can still holler and communicate.
Right.
He starts hollering to me, John. I says, yeah. He says, 9A. I said, what? He said, 9A. I said, 9A. He said, yeah, 10B. I said, oh, okay, numerical code. He started giving me all this information on what was going on back there, including excerpts from classified national security documents. Now, they could have called me a liar. The problem is, I got classified access codes to files and computer systems at the top level of the federal government, and DEA, CIA, NSA, all this stuff. Now, I started downloading it to a connection of mine in the streets, and told a connection of mine in the streets to tape record this. He tape recorded it. I says, make a bunch of copies of this, the original copy, send it to United States Senator Paul Wellstone of Minnesota. Paul Wellstone was a Jew. I've worked with him before on a lot of issues in prisons. Paul Wellstone was a good human being. He was a really good man. He was a good human being. This is why the tapes are called the Wellstone tapes. I told him also send copies of these tapes to all U.S. attorneys, all federal case agents, ATF, DEA, FBI, all them on these cases, and send it to the defense lawyers and defense investigators. So this is what this person did. Right after that, an intel agency's vans, surveillance vans, landed on this pad, and this dude had to take off running. The last time I could talk to him, he was supposed to come and visit me at the ADX. He was a no-show. I thought he got smoked and he was in a shallow grave somewhere. So I contacted another person. I said, is he all right? He says, yeah. I said, where's he at? He said, oh, I think he's in the Dakotas. No, maybe he's down in Arizona. So he's telling me this guy's on the run for doing the right thing. But he sent one copy of this tape to an FBI field office in South Minneapolis, and it was a female agent that got it. She reviewed this stuff, ran a make on it, got back with him, says, listen, you tell your source, which is me. He says, you tell your source he's calling good money. This is really serious shit. This is good money. So the thing is, fast forward when that AB racketeering case goes on in L.A. down in Santa Ana. The U.S. District Court judge, the chief judge, Carter, had in a closed courtroom, sealed this courtroom, did a limited examination of these documents. And he says, this court has been waiting months and months for someone to explain to this court how prisoners, much less guards, and none of them have any security clearances, have in their possession, in a unit, which is the illegal intelligence unit in the most secure facility we have in this country, the only acknowledged black site in this country, documents that this court can only characterize as top secret national security documents. They name names, players, assassinations, multi-million-dollar payoffs, corrupt government officials, everything involved in this. So that's what this unit was. And when I got up on it, I started filing lawsuits. That's why I told you, when Pete Early says, that I testified at Max Thing and I was taken out. No. I was on the main line at the ADX for another 4 years after my testimony as Max expert witness on gangs. And that was in October of 99 I testified for him. In October of 2003, I got snatched out of there and taken out of California because I wouldn't shut the lawsuits down and I wouldn't cut a deal. They started calling me a wild man. Cap said he's a wild man. He won't listen to any fucking reason. Well, I'm listening to reason. I'm the motherfucker upholding the law and protecting everybody, even their own cops. Listen, you're going to see in these articles, you're going to see a picture on the first one of Broken Code, picture of Danny Weeks on the front, and a picture of a cop named Joe Principe, who was a union steward for the Federal Guards Union. They set him up. All the guard union people that were banging with the suits, the wardens and all them, they used these informants to put bad jackets on them and claim they were involved in racketeering with us. They got Joe Principe put on leave under investigation. This is all bullshit, man. He ended up pleading in the second article, bringing down the Brotherhood. That's mostly about Joe Principe. Listen, man, they forced him in. Listen, he was innocent. But if you get enough motherfuckers getting on the stand pointing fingers at you, claiming you're guilty, you're going to get booked, whether you're innocent or not. So he had to plead out to that shit. Anyhow, this is what went down in that whole fucking unit there. And that's what resulted in me getting kicked out to California and invalidated as Aryan Brotherhood for giving an indeterminate shoe program in Pelican Bay up there. Then I had to battle that because they fucked up. They used the wrong... my wrong validation. They used a federal validation instead of California validation. They had to let me out of the shoe, right? Let me out in B-Yard at Pelican Bay. But your people that are listening to this, and this is where that information came out of, where they were fabricating a case on the Nation of Islam, Minister Farrakhan, which I got to him through Jackie Reed on BET News, and she got it to him. This is how I got the classified information to National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice in the Bush administration through Jackie Reed at BET News. And this is the same unit where that conspiracy out of Chicago popped up, where they're trying to whack black gang members, prominent black gang members out of Chicago.
Look, I was on the 6th floor in Chicago when that happened. The El Rukins.
El Rukins and the Gangster Disciples. Hoover. One of the prominent ones was Hoover, and the other one, El Rukins, is Jeff Ford.
I know,
His
man.
name's, they call him Malik. I know these guys real well. They're trying to whack them because what happened, their organizations are getting political, and they're diluting the minority voting votes out of Chicago that the normal political structures in Chicago are using to win elections.
They always do that. Chicago is notorious for that. Hey,
but check it out. They wanted to whack motherfuckers over. They wanted to use the brand. An intel agent came to Quicksilver and did a proposition. Told him, listen, man, we'll let you out of this fucking spot. You'll never come back. This, that, blah, blah, blah. But these are things. Showed him a dossier. Showed names, players, everything. And said, we know you guys got cyanide. You can use cyanide to whack this dude. I said, well, listen. You know, when I was talking to Quicksilver, he told me, he says, listen, man. He says, I got to go talk to some people about this. He ain't going to do that, and he's concerned that this agent may have a wire on him, maybe taping this shit. Then they just do splices and cut shit up, make it look in the affirmative, and then they can go along and start whacking motherfuckers and then blame the brand for it. So this was like a really dangerous situation, right? And they're already killing motherfuckers down there. They lynched Britt Bay, when they were trying to get him to hit Owen Zeal and he exposed it, they lynched him back in C Block, that black dude, Britt Bay, the Muslim. They fucking strung him up. Tried to get Owen Zeal killed. Yeah, that's all this. I'm telling you, this is what happens when you have these deep pits that you put people in with no transparency, no real oversight, and you just let them run amok down there. Absolute power controls.
Corrupts absolutely. Yeah.
Absolute power control corrupts absolutely. That's right. Listen, they're calling us the fucking chow, I think. Wait a minute, let me see.
You have 1 minute left.
The whole unit? Oh, they call me the chow.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, bro, we only got 1 minute left. I'll put this up today and give me a call back Sunday afternoon, all right?
Okay, I got some more shit, too. I want to talk about Pete Early's book where he said Cadillac Smith stabbed play. That didn't happen. Tommy did it. I'll tell you all about it.
Accidentally. I like to hear that.
Hey,
yeah.
all you people, listen to this. Look that shit up. You're going to be able to do this yourself. Later. Y'all stay well. Later.
Bye.
The caller has hung up.
That's it for now. We'll get John back on Sunday.